Today on In the Woodyard, we've got a firewood delivery. Here we go. It's a rainy, misty, miserable, cold, damp, dank, dark day here today in the Woodyard, but that's okay. We got a firewood delivery. I've got a customer that I already delivered a full cord to, and he's ready for another one. He said, bring it. He knows that the wood's gonna dry, even though it's got rained on a little bit last night and this morning. And so it's gonna be for another full cord. And I'm also gonna be taking him a couple bundles of free kindling, because he's a good customer. So that's generally what I've been doing with the kindling, unless someone specifically asks for it or wants it. When people order a decent amount of wood, a full cord, couple full cords, I just give them a couple bundles or a bundle, whatever. So kind of makes them happy, keeps them coming back, which is what we want. Now, first thing I'm going to cover today is that I got a bunch of envelopes here that I got in the mail. A while ago, I asked people if they wanted to help out with the cats. I can't believe how many people sent money for the cats. I just can't fathom it. One person said that they're going to pay for all of the spade neutering. So that's awesome. Other people sent checks for spade neutering or for food. So I just want to basically thank everybody, or the ones that I have here anyway. So Marty, thanks for the check from Pittsburgh, PA. Jeffrey, thanks for the check. He's from Greenville, Illinois. Karen from Norfolk, Connecticut. Thank you for the check. Stephen Rose from Bracebridge, Ontario, and Hawaii, I think. He's sent a couple checks. He sent one before and sent one again. Thank you. This one's from George from Massapequa Park. I'm butchering that, I know. Massapequa, that sounds right. Pique Park, New York. Thanks for the check. Scott Iverson from Manhattan, Kansas. Thank you, doctor. This one is from Christopher, and he's from Durham, New Hampshire. Is that right? Durham? Yeah, New Hampshire. I got H on there, so it must be New Hampshire. Thanks everybody for the money. Now, there were a few people that complained about me asking for money. I just eliminated them. If you're a turd, I'm just gonna flush you. If you got nothing better to use your time than complain about somebody doing good things for other people, it's gonna get rid of you. So I did, I just flushed them, just like all the other turds. Okay, we're gonna load some wood right now. Here we go. It's a thing of beauty once again. So I threw in a bunch of stuff. Well, I threw this whole pile here, I basically threw in the trailer. But there was a bunch of stuff that I got from my dad's, which are these bigger chunks, which are like 5-6 years old. I threw in probably half of that, and then I had a bunch of the smaller pieces that I got from Logger L's dad's place, and Carl, and I put all those in. So he's got a good mix of big and little stuff. There's some chunks that need to be split yet, and I actually called my customer and told him I had some big chunks in here, and he says, oh, that'd be awesome. I told him it was like, 5-6 years old. So there's bigger chunks like this, which are bigger than I normally would sell, which for boiler people or heating people is great. And this guy does heat with wood, so there's a bunch of these bigger ones in here, which I'm sure he'll be just happy with. And then I also threw in some of these, I know there's rounds in here that I threw in. They're up in there somewhere, but yeah, they're buried. But there were some I had to lift with 2 hands to put them in, to throw them in, because they were, 10 inches, 8 inches, bigger ones that were never split, but they're 5 years old, so I know they're dry. And so this is really going to be a nice mix for him. And like I said, he orders usually 3 full cords a year. This is the second load. He usually gets 2 in the fall, kind of stocks up, and then kind of towards the end of winter, he'll call me back and he'll say, yeah, I'm down to like, a face cord or 2 or whatever, and I bring him another load. So he almost always gets 3 full cords, and he heats his whole house with wood. And he likes oak, so that's what this load is. Now, the first load I took him was half oak, half hard maple, because I told him, I said, I think you should try some of this hard maple out. So, and he said he was fine with either on this one, but I had all this oak right here on the ground, the stuff I just got, and since he's a good customer, I figured take him some really good stuff, so that's what I did. So now this other part of the pile right here, this is mostly cherry that I got from Carl, from Luggerell's dad, and that I'm saving because I have a few people that want cherry, and that stuff is a year and a half old, something like that, so it's really dry. And I just processed probably close to 3 full cords, I would guess, of cherry. And a lot of that was dry when I split it because it was all cracked. It had been sitting here in log form for months, and it was smaller stuff. And when I split it, it was mostly dry on the inside. There was a few chunks there that needed some time. So that's out in the bin drying. So I'll sell this first, and over the next month, then I can start picking away at some of that other stuff as people want it. So yeah, this is all the bigger stuff from the second load that I got from my dad. So that's 4 face cords right there, and the first load here was 4, and I've already sold all of it except for this little bit right here that was in the back, because I delivered a few other people and took them some of the big good chunks too. I kind of put it on top for some of the people that heat with wood. Okay, enough talking. We're going on the road to do a big steaming dump.
Close there. Still got clearance. Oh yeah. I guess. That was the key right there. Right with what I wanted to do. Just a little. Yeah. Yep.
I am back in the Woodyard from a delivery that I just did. Trailer's empty, and I backed up to this pile of mixed hardwood here because I'm going to put in 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord of this mixed stuff in for my next delivery. Now, I thought this delivery was going to be today yet, but the lady just texted me and said, hey, it's raining. Well, it's barely misting out and it's supposed to stop. She said, can you bring it tomorrow instead? So I said, yes, of course I can. So, but I'm going to load it up right now. The wood is outside, I'm outside, the trailer's outside. It's going to be outside. So I'm going to load it all up right now, and I think it's pretty much done misting now anyway. I looked at the radar and it looks like it's pretty much done. But I'm going to get loaded up and then I'll deliver it tomorrow morning. So that's what I got left to do. Loading time right now. Mixed hardwood, ash, maple, elm, good stuff. So I just finished loading all the wood into the trailer. I walked over to the back side here. You can see this is all gray. This is the stuff I haven't gotten to yet. This pile, a lot of you know that watch the channel on a regular basis, this wood was cut last year, and then it was split and put into this big huge bin back in January. And right here's the very middle of it, and as you can see, no mold whatsoever. Had no mold, and everybody was worried, oh, that's gonna mold because, you know, it's such a big pile. Never molded, never had a problem. But it is ash for the most part. It's probably like 60-70% ash, and then there's a bunch of elm in here from a few trees that we cut, and then there's also a little bit of box elder I saw, a little bit of apple, but then there's quite a bit of maple in here too, soft maple, and no mold. And I've been selling the snot out of this stuff. It's just been going really good because a lot of people want mixed hardwood, and they'll tell me, you know, I don't have to have oak or hickory or locust or anything like that, just mixed hardwood, and this is pretty much what they get. All different nice size pieces here, and you can see I've taken from this whole corner, worked all the way that way here, and I don't even know how many loads I've gotten out of here, but a bunch. And It's probably a little more than halfway gone now, so we're just going to keep going on this, and then when this one's done, then we're heading over to that one, because that is the next one that was done, and that is all tree service wood, and that's a lot of maple and ash, a little bit of box elder in there, a bunch of elms in there too, kind of the same stuff as what this was, and everybody really likes it because it burns really good. So this whole pile here was, if I remember right, I think I figured this was 60 face cords or 20 full cords, something like that, according to the loads. And I could be off, I don't know, because we never really measured it. We just kind of brought a load out, processed it, put it in, brought a load out, processed it, put it in. And then that load over there was about the same amount. So 120 face cords, or that would be 40 full cords between this pile and that pile. And that was all free wood. Well, it wasn't free. I had to do some labor. We had to cut it, had to pay for fuel and all that kind of stuff. But for those of you that want to have a small wood business, that was all from one tree service company, all of it. And it all came in probably like a 3-month time period that we got all this. And so if you figure there's 120 face cords here, or third cords, at 120 a piece, that's $14,000 worth of wood, 15, something like that, maybe a little more. And it was all free. So there's no reason any of you have to buy wood if you want to start a business. You can get free stuff by either going on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and going picking up wood. And I've been collecting a whole bunch of things to look for, and we're going to talk about that in a coming up video in the next few days here, of listings that I have found that people had, and what to look for, what to obviously stay away from, and how to get in contact, basically, just with a tree service place. Just call them up, stopping when they're doing a job, and just say, hey, I'd love some of that wood. I can bring my trailer, you can load it up, I'll haul it away. That's the best way to do it, because they just want to have it gone for the most part. But yeah, there you go. Bunch of wood. It was free wood, other than the labor and the gas and the time and the machinery. But there it is. Okay, so this load is on right here. You can see it's in there. It's 2 face cords, 2/3 of a cord. I'm going to go park the trailer right now, because I'm not going to deliver this until tomorrow, and I've got about 2 hours left today before I have to be gone. And in those 2 hours, I'm going to bring the splitter over to this pile, the Easton Made Ultra, and I'm going to continue splitting on this, because I only did a little bit. There's some new stuff you saw on here. We did that the other day. I only split for, I don't know, not even an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. So I'm going to bring the splitter over here, and we're going to do some splitting. Doesn't that sound like fun? It does to me. I like splitting wood. Okay, so we just split for what? 45 minutes maybe? Yeah, and we found that we had a little goodie we found in here, so you gotta be careful because that would have made a big gouge like the one we got a little gouge right here on it. That happens, but you can't find them all because sometimes they're just there, and you can see the chainsaw just hit the edge of this right there, and I'm pretty sure that was my saw. I remember cutting this because we ripped them all in half.
Yep.
But yeah, these rounds of ash, we thought they'd be fairly dry, but you get the big ones, they're wet on the inside.
Yep.
They need to be split apart. And the thing is, some of the smaller ones, that our crotches are so tight that you go to split them and they don't want to go. And we got the single wedge on, which is good. But yeah, we were just talking about how with two guys, it's about as fast as you can go just to feed it.
Yep.
And you got to be careful with your hands because it's so easy to want to grab in position when you shouldn't be.
Right.
So we were just saying about how when you get a piece in there, you put it in and you get your hand on top in that position. Don't ever use your ends because especially when you got 2 or 3 guys.
Yep.
Even though we're both very aware because we split a lot,
Yeah. Especially if
all
you're
it
not
takes is one time.
Especially if you're not the one running the handle.
Yeah, it takes one time and you got one of these. You're missing one.
We don't want that.
No, want to keep all of our fingers. We've been getting rained on the whole time too here, so it never quit today, and it's really dark that way where it's coming from. So that's it for today, folks. I'll be back tomorrow with another video for you, 5:30 a.m. Good night, Irene. Full bellies. That's what we have here. I just fed them a little while ago. Seems like everybody's got full bellies. Some of them are still eating. I opened up a couple cans, and then I filled up the dishes here, and they were scarfing like maniacs just a little while ago.